Okay, today we're going to be working on a 2000 Dodge Durango. Has the 5.9 V8 RT engine. And today we are going to be replacing the cylinder head gaskets, both sides. The engine is experiencing overheating problems, low compression in multiple cylinders, and is leaking engine coolant directly into the engine oil, which unfortunately can cause major engine problems if it runs too long. The engine is also experiencing a large amount of engine sludge. So most likely this is going to be a nice full project, and it might end up having to rebuild the bottom end of the engine, but we'll see how that goes. Okay, so far we've unbolted the AC compressor. Important part of this one, do not disconnect this line, because if you do have refrigerant in there, or the R134A, and it does leak out, it is a federal offense. Just unbolt it and just set it off to the side. I've already removed the little plastic cover that fits over here to the radiator fan. That is your expansion tank for your actual radiator and your washer fluid. I've also started unhooking the miscellaneous connectors for the fuel injectors, took off the actual top intake plug that goes to the air filter. Right now I'm starting to remove the valve covers here. I'm going to have a look in there, see how badly they're sludged up. From there I'm going to be removing the actual alternator itself, the power steering pump because it is bolted to the cylinder head, as well as any other miscellaneous electronics that I have to unbolt to get it. I will continue recording once I've got most of it off and ready to come apart. Alright, as of right now, we've got a lot of the front accessories removed. The alternator, there was a bracket right here that the alternator bolts on. You're also going to have to remove that. Power steering pump is unbolted and set off the side. I really don't necessarily recommend you unhooking the lines because you're just going to make more of a mess. Just set it off to the side for you. Remove the throttle by itself, unhook the 3 throttle cables, got most of the electrical unhooked here. Started unbolting the driver's side valve cover. Once I get the rest of those bolts out, I'm going to get this valve cover off as well. Once that has been removed, we're going to start removing the upper intake manifold. Okay, a little bit of update. Got the valve covers off, got all the little miscellaneous accessories off, so now I can start removing the intake manifold and the cylinder head. Just want to point something out to you. This engine has been horribly neglected. As you can see, all of that sludge here, all of that is horrible. That is what will kill this engine in the long run. Problem is, on Dodge products like this one, they have problem with their oil pickup screens getting clogged very easily. And this engine, as you can see, the previous owners did not take care of this engine worth a damn at all. Most of this engine is completely sludged up on both sides of the cylinder head. Unfortunately, if this gets so bad, your oil can't circulate through the engine, you'll lose oil pressure, and then you could very well blow your engine. So I'm going to be removing these cylinder heads, taking them to the machine shop, having them clean that up. This will look like a brand new brand new cylinder head when it comes back. Problem is, we don't know what the condition the rest of the engine is when it comes to all this sludge. That's something we're going to have to take a look at before we really start investing into it. Okay, got the intake manifold removed, and it's still overwhelming presence of enormous amount of sludge in the valley antifreeze because of the blown head gasket. This engine is in just horrible shape. At this point, it really doesn't look like this engine's going to be savable. In order to get all of this sludge out, you're going to have to tear apart this entire engine, rebuild it from the ground up, and to be honest with you, it probably isn't worth it if you're at this point. But that is up to your customer's decision. On my end, I actually have to see what my customer would like to do about this in the first place. Considering I have already warned him about this, but we don't know what's going to happen right now. If you're watching this, just a little tip, the 5.9 heads, the RT heads for the actual Durangos, these are steel heads and they are very prone to crack. About 85 to 90% of the time when you have a head gasket leak, these do crack and it makes them completely useless. Just a little tip for you, but I'm going to continue tearing the head down and see what we can do for this engine. If it's unsavable, then I will continue this project as an engine replacement.